Well, I hope everybody's doing pretty good today. I've got what I hope to be another exciting video for y'all. This is going to be an unboxing and a review of the Cold Steel Large Espada. Now, I've had one of these before, loved it, but stupidly traded it off. And ever since then, I've been wanting one again. Well, as many of you guys probably know, if you're watching this, Cold Steel was recently bought out, and I was worried this might be one of the knives they've dropped. And I could be right on that, possibly. And if that's the case, then this might be one that's not being made anymore, in which case I bought this just in time. Now, I will say that I had a hard time finding this. I had to, normally you could go to Amazon or wherever, and they'd be like $205 or something like that. Knife Center or Blade HQ might have them for $225 or somewhere along that range. I couldn't find one of these at all when I first started. I had to watch for a few days, and then it popped up on Amazon Prime from Amazon. One left was their inventory. So I thought, well, maybe it's a return or something. I went ahead and bought it, but I got the package just now, and as you can see, this thing looks sealed new in the box. So this is going to be a true unboxing on this one. Okay, sorry about that. Had a little interruption with dog barking. So let's open this thing up using my handy dandy screw pot. This is a pretty cool little device. It uses just regular utility knife blades. You pop it up, and these blades are held in here with a magnet. And then you can just latch it down wherever you need it. And then you have a nice little utility blade to use. So we will cut this open. And I think this appears, we'll cut it open on both sides because it appears that it will slide. Let's see here. So hopefully this is a nice one. The one I had before was immaculate. And y'all are getting to see this along with me for the very first time, but this is how it comes packaged. Last handled by an inspector in Taiwan, I would presume. Oh, and there we go. We have a warning. Let's see here. Interesting, there's no paperwork in the box beyond this. Warning, extremely sharp. Trying to make this knife. Don't do this, don't do that, don't cut off your fingers. Wow. And there it is, folks. Even got the little plastic on the bolsters. Oh my gosh. Y'all know how much we like peeling plastic. Of course, we gotta save the removed plastic. Oh, there we go. Now that's a knife. I think what a lot of people don't realize, and to keep in mind, this is the large model. They make an extra large model that is just absolutely insanely big. But this is the large model. Looks like pretty good centering. Wow. Oh yeah. And I haven't even checked out this grinding yet, of course, because I just opened it. That side looks pretty good. hard to tell in the camera, so I'm trying to eyeball this. Of course, this side actually looks pretty good too. Very nice. And there's my doggy agreeing that it's nice, but it's S35VN, made in Taiwan. Wow. Let's see if it has any. My first one had a little bit of lateral blade play in it when it was new. This one does not. I actually had to do a little bit of tweaking on my bolster bolt on that first one. Wow, y'all. Let me just say. Oh, who's that ugly guy in the bolster? This is spectacular. What purpose does a knife like this have? Well, not much, to be honest with you. But in my opinion, this is something to carry for, I don't want to say for everyday cutting, and I don't want to say for self-defense, but given in a pinch, obviously that's what it's designed for, with the finger grips and the triad lack. And, you know, forgive my ugly hands. I've been out in the sun a lot. When that happens, my vitiligo spots start showing a lot more because the skin around them tans and this part doesn't. But anyway, definitely could be used for defensive purposes. And a blade, you know, a nice big, I don't really want to call this a drop point, but what type of blade shape you would call that. But it's pretty good utility. You've even got some belly where you could actually skin with it. You know, it's got a nice sharp point where you could do finer stuff with it. Whittle campfire stakes, cut rope, all that good stuff. Even cut your steaks. As in beef steaks, not tent steaks. It's hard to tell on camera how big this knife is. My hands are average size. I wear a size medium to large gloves. And that's not a good representation either, just by showing it like that. But how about we do this? A dollar bill for comparison. Does that give you an idea? Dollar length for the blade. Not quite a full dollar length for the length of it. So $2. Let's see what else I might have handy here in the bench. Here we go. The classic Buck 110. And boy, I can tell you mine is tarnishing. I need to polish mine up some. Everybody knows the size of these. Oh, it's just a little baby compared to the Espada. This is a newer model 110. This is, of course, a made in USA knife. I can tell you, good knives, especially for the money. But some of these Taiwan makers, I don't know, of course, who in particular makes this one for cold steel. But man, I tell you, some of their skills, I mean, they've come a long way, folks. The steel is, of course, is US steel, being S35V. But their craftsmanship and quality, I mean, I've gotten my grubby fingerprints all over it already. Is it as precision fitted as like a J. Oser or some other custom maker's knife? No. Obviously it's not. But for a knife in this price range, with this level of quality, it's kind of hard to beat. See if I can fold this up without cutting off my fingers. And that thing will snap back shut. You know, it's got a nice big spring in there. When you're closing it, it will shut. You best get your fingers out of the way, folks, is all I got to say. But yeah, you know, I've had a lot of cold steel products through the years. You know, I've had the opportunity to meet Lynn Thompson. He's the owner and founder of Cold Steel, the guy that does all of the videos and stuff like that. And let me tell you, he's a pretty cool guy. You know, if you meet him in person. I've met him at SHOT Show once or twice, and I think once at a Blade Show, if I remember right. But he's a cool guy. But even better is Andrew Demko. Andrew Demko is a really nice guy as well. I've had the pleasure of knowing and meeting Andrew a couple of times over the years, but I was one of his early customers with one of his titanium slabbed knives that were kind of a knockoff of the, like the CRK, like the Sabenzis. And Andrew's always been great to deal with. This was long before he even heard about going to work for Cold Steel. But those who don't know, this design is a collaboration between Lynn and Andrew. And Andrew designed the locking mechanism they use in this, which is the triad lock, is what they call it. You can see a portion of it here, but you can see how it has a big hook that literally locks down to keep this blade from folding. And in the proof videos by Cold Steel, they showed the lock on the XL Espada, which is the monster size version of this one. I'm holding my hands out farther like you can see it off frame, but it's the monster size version of this. They held it up to 600 pounds and even showed them dangling an engine block from one of them. So in other words, you don't have to worry about this lock failing on you. Another cool thing is it has this stud. Oops, sorry, about lost my camera. It has this stud for opening. Well, that stud will actually also let you see this carries tip up in your pocket. So it's designed when you're pulling the knife out of your pocket, this stud will catch on your pocket and flip this knife open. Now, I'm not skilled enough to do that, and I sure as heck ain't going to try to do it here on camera for y'all. But you can check out some videos, and they show online, and there's some guys that can really snap this thing open right when they pull it out of your pocket. And I will say that you'd think a knife this big can't be handled with one hand, but yeah, you can open it with one hand, like I did just there. So, well, that's my little desktop look at this knife, y'all. I really appreciate you taking time to watch this video. You know, if you're one of my subs, I thank you for that. If you're not a subscriber, consider clicking that little subscribe button, because I like to put up videos on cool things like this. If you have any questions, post them down in the comments. Take the time to click that little thumbs up button, because that really helps me a lot. You guys be safe out there, and we'll talk to you next time.